Recording in progress.
The August 11, 2026 West County Wastewater Infrastructure Operations and Environment Committee meeting to order at 10 a.m. Madam Clerk, please take the roll. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance or observe a moment of silence. Director Antila, please lead us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, now is the time for public comment for items not on the agenda. Madam Clerk, have we received any public comments?
We have not. If anyone wishes to comment on non-agenda items at this time, please approach the podium or raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing none, we have no public comments.
Okay, thank you. Deputy General Manager Michael Savannah, please lead us through the agenda.
Item 1 on the agenda is to accept the minutes of the July 14th, 2026 Infrastructure Operation and Environment Committee meeting. Madam Clerk, have we received any public comment on this item?
We have not. If anyone wishes to comment on item 1 minutes, please approach the podium or raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing none, we have no public comments.
Okay, thank you. Can I get a motion to accept the minutes?
Make a motion to move the item.
Okay, and I'll second the motion. Next item.
Item number 2 on the agenda is to receive an update on the sewer lateral compliance program and outreach. Madam Clerk, have we received any public comment on this item?
We have not. If anyone wishes to comment on item 2, sewer lateral compliance program and outreach, please approach the podium or raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing none, we have no public comments.
Here today, and Judy's going to give us an update on our sewer lateral compliance program. Give us a bit of a review of what we did this last year, and talk about some of our outreach.
Fantastic. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, President Alvarado and Director Intila. My name is Judy Chen. I'm the Capital Program Engineering Manager with West County Wastewater. My apology. Okay. Yeah. Today, I would like to present the status update of sewer lateral compliance program and annual review, the outreach summaries. Okay, so again, the purpose of the sewer lateral compliance program, I think it's really important that I reiterate this, is to protect the public health. Why this program is such an important part of our organization is because our organization lateral compliance to protect our environment. We want to make sure that we can prevent the spills, and we want to keep the waterway clean and ensuring a reliable wastewater system for the future. And all this sewer lateral compliance, everything that we do, it's tying with the strategic plan alignment. So it's infrastructure optimization, environmental leaders, organizational capacity development, fiscal responsibility and engagement, partnership and advocacy. So everything, again, that we do with the sewer lateral compliance program is tying to the West County Wastewater Strategic Plan. And when it comes to the outreach program, in addition to multiple in-person events that we have attend, we also attend the MAC, the Municipal Advisory Agency that organized by the Contra Costa County Board of Supervisors, John Joya. So there are 3 events that we were invited to attend. One in also Brentwood MAC, one is East Richmond High, and another one is North Richmond MAC that we have attended for the fiscal year 2026. The next slide shows how many outreach programs that we have provide through the mails. So we send out the mail to the resident in our service area. So I I put it together in quarters. So from July to September, last July to September, we sent out about 172 outreach program by mails. October to December, it's around 160. This year, from January to March, we sent out about 117, and from April to June, we sent out about 109. And for the following couple slides, these are the numbers that that we compile to compare year over year for the fiscal year 25 and 26. So for the total permit issues for last fiscal year 2026, we issue about 1,013 permits as compared to fiscal year 25, we issue about 604. So we do see a 70% increase, and that's due to we start issuing the video inspection permit last year. And we didn't do that. We didn't have that in the practice in fiscal year 25. We start doing that in fiscal year 26, and that's why we see the increase of 70% of the permit that's being issued. Now, with the extension and hardship deferral, West County Wastewater, we do offer the extension and hardship deferral for those residents that it needs a little bit time to bring their sewer lateral in compliance. So in fiscal year 26, we do a combination of extension and hardship deferral. We have 47 applicants. And in fiscal year 25, we have about 37. And we do see a 20% increase when it comes to the assistance to the resident to extend the time that they need to bring into the compliance. Customer service, this is something that I want to kudos to the permit team who has provided the day-to-day operation and providing a customer, whether it's through the email or by phone, to the resident in our service area. For fiscal year 26, we accommodate about 2,559. That's a combination of the phone call that's coming in as well as the email that we responded to the customer. In fiscal year 25, it was 1,855. We see a 40% increase when it comes to the customer service. So again, I want to kudos to everyone who is supporting the permit, pipes, and inspection team. Everyone is willing and also accommodating the customer everything that they could and providing excellent customer services. Now, next slide, we do show the certificate of compliance that we issue. So for fiscal year 26, we issue about 661 certificate of compliance as compared to fiscal year 25, we issue 430. We do see about 50% increase when it comes to obtaining a certificate of compliance. So kudos to the resident in our service area for year over year bringing their sewer lateral in compliance. Inspection complete. So in fiscal year 26, we have around 1,000 inspection that's complete, whether it's a video inspection or in-person inspection. So that is such an accomplishment, given that we have only a number of the staff working in supporting the inspection effort. So fiscal year 25, we have 735 inspection complete. So we do see a 30% increase. So the next slide shows the number of the pipes application that's being pre-approved. For fiscal year 26, we have about 104 applications being approved as compared to fiscal year 25. It's 83. We do see a 22% increase. And the next slide shows the dollar amount. I remember last time Director Rentela did mention about the dollar amount that we have disbursed to the residents. So I do want to show the overall numbers. Fiscal year 26, we have reimbursed the resident in our service area who applies for the PICE program of $193,000. For fiscal year 25, we reimburse the resident in our service area who apply for the PICE program $158,000. Again, we do see a 20% increase year over year for the PICE program. So overall, fiscal year 26, the last fiscal year had been a busy year for the staff, and also I want to take this opportunity to thank the resident in our service area for the commitment to bring their sewer lateral in compliance. So that's the overview of what we have done when it comes to a sewer lateral compliance.
Okay. Director Antila, questions, comments?
Sure, thank you. I think it was a couple of months ago when I asked, I think we had $400,000 in the pipes program. And so, did you say we issued 113,000 permits?
So yes, we do have a $400,000 as a budget for to support the PICE program. So for fiscal year 26, which is last fiscal year, we reimbursed the resident in our service area for $193,000.
Right. So once that 400,000 is spent, are we going to be able to replenish it for the future, or does it
Right.
just go away?
That 400,000 is renewed every year.
Okay.
And I don't think we've had a year yet where we've spent all 400 in 1 year.
Okay, and that leads to my next question. When people apply for permits, are they told that they're eligible for a rebate?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. So it is also part of the mail out to the resident about the PICE program. That's part of it. So this is the number of the mail that, including the PICE program information and sewer lateral compliance information, mailing out to the customer. So they do receive those information.
Okay,
Yeah.
and the money that's not spent in a particular year, does it roll over to the next year, or?
It does not roll over to the next year. However, when the board approved the PICE program back in 2020 to start this program in fiscal year 21, it does mention that it's in incurring basis. Right. So every year we do have a $400,000.
Okay,
To spend.
and so if none of that money is spent,
Exactly. And that's my next presentation about the expanding the eligibility of the PICE program to a more category. Yeah. So I have another presentation that I will make.
okay,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you.
I have no questions. Anything further from staff on this?
Nope, great job, Judy. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item then, thank you.
Next, we will receive a update on expanding the PIPES program eligibility to homeowners associations. I guess I should have read the script, huh? Item number 3 on the agenda is to receive an update on expanding PIPES program eligibility to homeowners association. Madam Clerk, have you received any comments on this item?
We have not. If anyone wishes to comment on this item, PIPES program eligibility, please approach the podium or raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing none, we have no public comment.
We have Judy Chan again. She's going to give us an update on our PIPES program recommendation. Staff has come to this committee before to talk about expanding our PIPES program and including some homeowners associations that were not originally considered in our PIPES program. So Judy's going to give you all an update on where we are with that work and when you can expect sort of wrapping up of that work and taking a recommendation further.
Good morning, Chair Alvarado and Director Ventila. My name is Judy Chen. I'm the Capital Program and Engineering Manager with West County Wastewater. Today, I would like to provide a status update about the expanding PICE program eligibility to homeowner associations. We talk a little bit about this when we talk about sewer lateral compliance, but I do want to provide a comprehensive overview of what is it that we are working on right now, and so that's why I'm back here to provide a status update. So PIPES program really stands for the Public Incentive Program Efficiency of Sewer. So this is the table of how the metrics look like when it comes to a reimbursement to the resident. So again, I do want to take this opportunity to thank the West County Wastewater Board of Directors to pass the resolution number 2020-28 for the $400,000 to the budget biannual in fiscal year 2021 to fund this program on recurring basis. So this was passed back in 2020. So, so next slide. So what we are proposing is to expand the eligibilities because currently our PICE program only offers to residential and commercial and not the HOA. HOA stands for homeowner associations, right? So what the staff is proposing is to expand the eligibility to include the HOA, okay? And the reason is because, so again, our objective is evaluate expanding the HOA program to allow eligible homeowner association to participate, right? And really the goal is no different than the sewer lateral compliance that we have always trying to accomplish, right? Is to improve, protect our public health and environment, encourage rehabilitation of aging private sewer infrastructure, right? Is to increase participation in proactive sewer improvement, and in provide equitable access to property under common ownership. And so that's HOA. Right. And why consider HOA, right? So if we look at the structure, right, and so the HOA does have, oftentimes they do have a shared sewer lateral. Sometimes it calls private sewer main, right? It's commonly owned by the resident in that HOA, right? But those shared lateral is not belongs to one particular homeowner in that community, but it's shared. But currently, our PICE program does not have this category. So when the HOA reach out and they say, hey, are we eligible for the PICE program? We couldn't find anything in the guideline. So we have to let them know that we will look into this, okay? And there are current challenges that many HOA community only maintain private sewer system that serve multiple resident units, right? But they are privately owned. It's not that we, West County Wastewater is responsible for those. They are privately owned and can be costly when it comes to repair or replacement, right? Although those systems function similarly to private lateral, they are currently ineligible for the assistance, okay? So next slide shows a little bit of why this benefit of expanding eligibility. For the district, it's protecting a public infrastructure, encourage proactive maintenance, and support long-term asset management. And for the HOA communities, it's a financial assistance for qualified project, encourage timely repair, and help addressing aging infrastructure, as well as benefit multiple homeowners. Because when it comes to a homeowner association, it's multiple residents, it's multiple homeowners. Financial consideration. So current program performance, right? So annually, right now we have $400,000. Okay, as I explained in earlier presentation, for fiscal year 26, we only spent $193,000. In fiscal year 25, we only spent $158,000. It's not even 50% of the budget. So we still have enough. We still have a sufficient budget to expand the eligibility to the HOAs. And the proposed approach is to expand, so everything that we are proposing right now is to expand the eligibility, not the budget. That's really important, okay? Yeah, and yeah, so that's also the benefit. No increase to the current annual budget that's already being allocated. It's just the eligibilities. Now, so the staff recommends that we are working with legal to review the guideline that we have with the PICE program. We want to expand the guideline to include the HOA. We can definitely bring those guidelines back probably in the next month's IOE committee to show how is that guideline is being drafted. We just want to make sure that the IOE committee member is aware of what's the progress that the staff has been made so far. Any questions for me?
Director Antila, questions?
I do. I myself have concerns over this because their HOAs are privately owned, and the developer, the homeowners of those HOAs, they pay for certain amenities, unlike public and the people here that don't live in HOAs. I have a problem with that, but also, can a developer potentially exhaust the whole 400,000?
That's why we need to work on the guideline and the reimbursement criteria as well. And it's no different than the very first few slides that, it's right here. Yeah. So currently, we do have this reimbursement matches for commercial property who is eligible to, under our current guideline. So with the HOA, if IOE committee agree with it, we will work with a similar format as well. So it's not that, it's, our hope is that we will have a sufficient budget to support as much HOA as possible, but it's a part of the assistance to what they are going to do with the repair and replacement. Yeah.
So this pipes program is specifically for repair or replacement?
Exactly.
This is not for new developers like we're expecting here at Hilltop Mall?
Right. No.
Because we're expecting anywhere from 20 to 30,000 more housing units, not to mention some industrial and commercial buildings. So in the future, they could potentially exhaust that 400,000 pretty quickly if there's a catastrophic event that damages their sewer laterals.
Yeah.
So I do have concerns with this, but I guess we'll leave it to a vote.
Sure. Yeah. So the PICE program is for the existing sewer lateral repair or replacement. With the new development, that is part of the permit process. And yes.
But I'm saying 5 years from now, after everything, let's say hypothetically, everything's built out right now, 5 years from now, if they have issues with their sewer laterals, then they can really dig into this rebate money.
It's possible, but that's really dependent on how we set the program up. If you look here, we have a cap on what we would reimburse. And I suspect that when staff bring back their recommendation, there will be a reasonable cap. So what that would mean is even if there was a catastrophic failure, one HOA would only qualify up to the cap, right? So for instance, a sewer lateral could cost somebody $10,000 to redo. The cap is still at $4,500, right?
Yeah.
And if something happened and for some reason their sewer lateral cost them a lot more than our cap is our cap, right? So we reimburse 50% up to this maximum.
Right.
And the recommendation that we'll bring back, we'll just make sure that it has a reasonable cap in there to address that concern. We appreciate the comment. This is exactly what we're looking for before we bring the final recommendation back, is what are you all concerned about so that we can address that in our recommendation.
Right, so that cap would have to be one for all, right? So let's say, for example, you say it's 2,000. Well, it would be 2,000 for HOAs and 2,000 for non-HOAs, correct? You couldn't have a two-tier cap system.
Well, I suspect that we'll probably end up needing some, I mean, we can bring a number of recommendations. However, when we're talking about HOAs, they're replacing substantially more than your typical resident, right? So their cost is going to be substantially more. So I'm not sure that the same cap that we have here is going to do much for HOAs.
Well, again, I have an issue with it.
And we'll make sure that we make a recommendation, and if there's some feedback that this committee wants to give us, we'll take that into consideration and bring in an appropriate recommendation.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that this is not in its final stages whatsoever.
Oh, no.
So this is just something they're giving us information, so it's good.
Yeah.
That way, you know, you will bring it back to us and
We will.
we will have more comments, I'm sure.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
thank you.
Nothing is approved until the IOE committee agree with it, and we present it to the board of director and
yeah,
approve.
yeah, we're still a ways from there,
We-
but that's good.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you so
appreciate it.
much.
Thank you, Judy. Great job.
Next item.
Item 4 on the agenda is to receive a capital improvement program update for fiscal year 2026 and an overview of the fiscal year 2027 capital improvement program. Madam Clerk, have we received any public comments on this item?
We have not. If anyone wishes to comment on capital program update, please approach the podium or raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing none, we have no public comment.
Thank you.
We have Angela Andrews, our Director of Infrastructure and Planning, and she's going to give us a presentation on our capital update.
Hello, good morning. I have a brief presentation for the capital improvement update today, and you're familiar with some of these slides already, but this is just giving you a program overview, performance update, a prioritization update, and then we're going to actually give you an update on the department as well, and then we'll open up to questions. So the program overview, you've seen this slide over the years, but is the 10-year capital improvement plan. You'll be seeing that at the full board, and it's a 5-year program that you'll also see, which is a breakout of what we're going to do over the next 5 years in closer detail, of basically showing the appropriation and how we plan to spend it over the next 5 years. We also reduced it to 6 programs for now. We used to have an other category, but we have removed the other category for the next capital plan because we didn't have any projects in that category. In the other category, we would see more evaluations or assessments, and that we have moved to the Planning and Support Services Division for them to manage, as they are pretty much the first stop into reviewing what are some of the things we need to study before we take on a project. We still do have the force main assessment as a project in the capital plan because a lot of the information we're going to receive from that project will feed into the Tower Hills improvements there. And then for now, we have 36 projects. We anticipate more. During mid-year, we identified 15 new sewer projects. Right now, we are reviewing the budget allocation for those projects, as well as looking at charters and project management plans. So it's going to take some time to get through 15 projects. And we also have to assign those to our engineers and our project managers with their current workload. So that is going to be the focus for the remaining of fiscal year 27. So we'll give you an update on those sewer replacement projects when they come. So right now, this is the CIP performance as of May 31st. Right now, we had fiscal year 26 budget of $30 million. Our actuals were $6,380,000. And we have to keep in mind that Clean and Green is still a major part of our capital portfolio. We also are expecting a lot of that spent this fiscal year as well as next fiscal year as we are closing out that project. So once Clean and Green closes out, and we do have a ribbon cutting planned at the end of October, you're going to see this pie chart look a lot different than you've seen in previous years. But right now, it's really...
Which is a good thing, right?
It's just a great thing. One, because it was many projects in one. When people say Clean and Green, they think, oh, it's just one project. But as you're aware, we updated our headworks, our grid system, 2 new digesters, solar improvements in multiple locations, including Hilltop and lift stations, as well as battery storage and solar. So we've done a lot in expansion of our EQ basin. So we've done a lot in that one project, which again is a portfolio in itself. But in fiscal year 27, you're going to see majority of that money spent, but there should be some remaining. But right now, we are expecting 48% of our portfolio for fiscal year 27 to continue to go to Clean and Green. We are going to be increasing our spending in force main and gravity sewer. We do have a slide that I'll present later on our collection system, which will be the focus. We do have a state mandate for us to spend $15 million on our collection system, so we need to really focus on getting that design. We've had some projects that have hit snags in terms of procurement or design, but we think we're getting past a few of those hurdles now, and we are starting to take on more of those sewer projects in the planning stages. So this lovely slide was created by Judy to talk about where we at when it comes to our $15 million spend that we need to have as part of the state requirement. And we are as you can see, we're about $4 million. We also can include the spot repair program, so we're going to be looking at how we can do more projects within the spot repair program, because that does help our collection system. The collection system also includes our lift stations. So we actually have 4 of our lift stations already designed. But right now, we really want to focus on replacing sewers because that is what contributes to our overflows. So we want to reduce those risks and manage those risks. So we want to focus their energy towards replacing force mains, replacing gravity sewers. And with the force mains, we are re-engaging on the La Honda project. So we are releasing an RFP to get a new designer on board. It's actually a very short length of pipe, but it's a very complicated area. So we're re-engaging on that. We are re-engaging on a force main assessment. That is the project that just keeps on giving. But you will hear more about the status of that project at our next board meeting, but we do anticipate going out to bid for that project again. And then once we do that assessment, which isn't really a long duration when it comes to assessment, but the information we're going to get out of that force main assessment, it could be a very large project. It definitely will be the largest force main project in the district's history once we understand what's going on there. So we are anticipating for Tower Hills in particular for us to look at phasing, and we are also looking at contingency planning for that force main currently. So we have started discussing what do we do while we're still studying this force main, while we're still designing what we need to do for this force main. We do need a contingency plan. So we do have a cross-organizational group that will be getting together to talk about what we're doing there. And then we also have already met regarding our lift station in relation to that force main, also looking at how that needs to be reviewed for contingency planning as well. But right now, for the lift stations that we've identified, which is still part of the collection system, we have designed Terra Hills, La Honda, Carriage Hills, and De Avila. So those 4 lift stations are already designed and sitting on the shelf. But again, we're focusing on force mains and sewers. We also like to have a higher priority on force main as well because of the risks, but also we are looking at doing dual lines so we can have redundancy, but also it'll help us get to that number. Prioritization process. So the last time I presented to IOE, we talked about project prioritization, and I gave you a roadmap to where we would be. And so I'm back here again today. And just to let you know, we didn't receive any new projects for the capital plan. I would clarify, though, that the Planning and Support Services team, capital projects team, and the collection system teams, they have ongoing updates to sewers that need to be replaced because of all the good work that CSO is doing in terms of CCTVing. They look at what are the deficiencies in the collection system, and then they package those deficiencies and create sewer projects. So that work happens throughout the year, even beyond the project prioritization process. There also are projects that maintenance and operations staff identify as part of their ongoing maintenance and operations. So even though they didn't submit any new projects, we're still working. There's still new projects. It's just they're not being submitted to the capital plan. It might be hitting a different budget. We are still updating some financials. So the numbers that you received on the pie charts earlier were for May 31st. So Finance is still reviewing the June 30th numbers. So we're hoping that in the September board meeting, we'll be able to present those numbers. So once we get the final review, we can give you an update with as well as the projects that we anticipate working on in fiscal year 27. So for organizational changes, I wanted to give you an update during this time to talk about what's happening in the IMP department. So we did, I think we did come to the full board and discuss the supervisor roles that we created in the department, similar to the roles you see at maintenance and operations. So collection systems, they have 2 supervisors. That was implemented a few years ago. So they have 2 supervisors, 10 collection system crew members, so they split the 10. And then for capital projects, it is now under the engineering and construction manager. And so we have the capital program supervisor, the engineering technical resource supervisor. We have a GIS program analyst and a district inspector and an admin tech. So those roles actually are in the engineering and construction manager, and then we have a senior management analyst. We also have a senior project manager and a project manager role underneath the capital program supervisor, and then we have the associate engineer. We have 2 associate engineers under the engineer technical resources supervisor. So I will say the one change I would probably make is having the GIS program analyst and district inspector underneath the engineering and technical resource supervisor. That might have to be changed on my slide, I see. But the admin tech is still something that we're still discussing where the admin services lie within our department. So senior management analyst, admin tech, we are looking at that as something that's department-wide, but also resources that we share throughout the organization as we are sharing admin resources throughout the organization. So that's my update. Are there any questions?
Okay, Director Antila, questions, comments?
Yes, I was curious about the State Water Board permit requirements. Because we're in transition, rebuilding our plant completely, do those requirements and permitting from the state, do they come in at the beginning of the year, or are they sporadic? And
So for this permit, it was dated August 1st, 2024. And then our mandate, at least what I know for the permits that are related to the capital projects, is due in 2029. Aaron Weiner, the Director of Water Quality, he has a host of other requirements that he has for the NPDES permits. So there might be some things that the project is helping with making sure that we're meeting those requirements, but I can't specifically state for the plant side if there's additional requirements that were identified, but maybe our Deputy General Manager can speak to that.
Yeah, so there isn't anything sporadic, Aaron, before you sit down, there isn't anything sporadic about the requirements of our permit. We understand them when we get issued our permit, and I'll ask Aaron to come up and just address if there's any additional requirements that'll come in between the time our permit started in 2024 and then when it's time to renew our permit. Because that sounds like what you're asking.
yeah.
So Aaron, can you,
Yeah,
Director Rentila had a question about our NPDES permit and whether or not there are additional requirements that sort of are phased in along the term of our permit.
The requirements are explicit in the permit. There wouldn't be any added on that aren't already in there, if that's the question.
I was just curious because we're in transition and rebuilding our plant completely. It's not as if we're just chugging along. Do the permitting process, do they see that we're going to be doing this and add in?
Yes.
Require more
Well,
permit.
we've been communicating with the Regional Water
Right,
Board
that's,
long before the current permit term started in 2024. So they're aware of all the changes going on. And then in advance of the next permit cycle, they will require us to submit, I'm blanking on the exact term for it. They'll ask us to submit a whole new set of information about what we're doing, and they'll incorporate any needs into the permit based on that information.
and does the city of Richmond have to look at those permits at all, or are they
They will have to
involved?
go through the same process that we go through separately, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe add like processes go down or different types of equipment, and permits real explicit about the type of stuff you need them to be aware of, just on a day-to-day operation basis when you change things, and then you've got the nutrient trading and things like that, there's sort of might be some changes.
Sure. Yeah, so So if, for example, we have a problem with a specific process unit, we notify our permit engineer of that, and we continually notify of things that are going on that they need to know about that might disrupt our process or affect the effluent, that we're discharging. So there are, as the GM mentioned, our GM mentioned, there are other things that we're working on. Nutrient trading, BACWA, Bay Area Clean Water Agencies, they have a consultant on board to look at nutrient trading. And for example, we discharge almost no nutrients to the bay because we remove nutrients and then we recycle a bunch of our water, a good percentage of our water. Richmond, on the other hand, has an excess of nutrients that they discharge. So we may be able to work out an arrangement with Richmond or any other of the discharges in the Bay Area, depending on the rules and whether this nutrient trading program is adopted. So there are things like that do happen in the background, outside of the permit that may impact the next permit cycle. So,
Awesome. Thank you. You learn something new every day. You're welcome. Thank you.
I just wanted to add that we're one of like 2 agencies that are early adopters for nutrient removal. So I was at a summit and we were kind of the cool kids at school because a lot of the agencies are going to be struggling with nutrient removal in the future. And so we're an early adopter. So a lot of those costs should be coming down for us when it comes to nutrient removal and to the point where, we can trade them. So.
Great news.
And are there any other questions?
I think we're good. Anything further from staff? General Manager, would you like to add anything?
I think they did a fine job.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you, Angela.
Next item.
Next on the agenda is item 5, reports on issues or matters pertaining to the work of the committee. Madam Clerk, have we received any public comment on this item?
We have not. If anyone wishes to comment on reports, please approach the podium or raise your hand in Zoom.
Just a quick update on the calendar. So the our September meeting is canceled due to the board recess, so we won't have a September IOE. In October, we are currently planning to bring a AI presentation as requested by this committee, emergency response plan development process, so to talk to you a little bit about that, and then to give you an update on pipes legislation.
Okay, great. How about, do we have anything further for any future meetings you want to see, Director Rentila?
Not at this moment. Thank you.
All right, so then I'm going to say that this meeting is adjourned. If we have nothing further, we're good? Okay, it's adjourned at 10:42. Thank you.